Welcome back to Ian Brooks' Psychology channel, and today we're going to talk about risk. Now, most of us, when we use the term risk, we are referring to our belief about what is on the line, what is at stake when we do something scary. Risk is the main factor in preventing us from going out there and doing something that is meaningful to us. But I want to give you an insight from a psychological perspective that you have more control than you realize. You have more power to change the way you think about risk in your life. Now, risk essentially is fear. It is essentially our perception and idea that something is too scary and there's too much to lose if it goes wrong. It's the what if part of our mindset. It's the consequences of things not going to plan. It's our fear of failure in a nutshell. Now, the first thing that comes to mind with risk is our inability to see what we are foregoing, what we are missing out on if we do the thing. Our brain is short-wired for the immediate effect of something. So we are wired to ensure our safety in the short term, but we forget about the long term. What is the long-term effect of not choosing to do the action? Not choosing to take the business risk, not choosing to pursue your health and fitness? What is the opportunity cost of not doing the thing? So you need to reframe the idea of risk, because a lot of young people point to the risk of not taking a meaningful pursuit in their life because it's too risky. But I implore you to reframe the way you think of it. What are you risking? When you are younger, you have less responsibilities. And another existential point is memento mori. Remember, you have to die. In the grand scheme of life, in the timeline, nothing is as risky as your brain is telling you it is. The next one is cognitive bias. Now, our brain has a filter. It's called the reticular activating system, and its role is to keep you in your comfort zone and twist the narrative of what you see and observe so that you feel like you have to play life small. It's essentially keeping you in your comfort zone. And two cognitive biases that we'll talk through is number one, the availability heuristic. Now, the reason we frame our inability to take a risk, we use examples of people in our life that have tried to do something and haven't succeeded. Our brain is able to selectively find examples of people who have failed at doing something and use that as the justification for not doing the thing. Now, anyone who takes a risk, such as starting a business, points out to examples of people who have done the thing, and that inspires them. Their brain is pointing out examples. But the reverse happens when you want to play life small and stay in your comfort zone. Your brain is able to find examples of people who have failed, so it gives you the justification for not doing the thing because it is too risky, there's too much to lose, and it's not possible. So our brain is wired to find information that confirms our pre-existing beliefs. And our beliefs is, I'm too scared to put myself out there, it's too much on the line. What if I fail? I don't think I'm good enough. So our brain is able to twist its perception in order to stay safe. Number two, loss aversion. As humans, we are more wired to run away from pain than we are to go towards pleasure. So our brain is constantly weighing up the risk versus reward. So it is trying to minimize loss rather than gain a reward. So in this sense, risk, our brain is hardwired and amplifying and increasing its perception of what you could lose if you do it. Lose your reputation. What are people going to think of me? Lose money if it's a business opportunity. Lose relationships. It is putting all these fears and it is amplifying them to make you scared of doing the thing. Our brain is telling us that we're going to lose everything we have. But I implore you to be able to reframe and rethink the way you look at these exact same things, because you may be exposing yourself to new experiences where you put your time into different things. But if you don't reframe the way you look at that, you are missing out on fulfillment, joy, and a life that you truly love, because you are pursuing something that is valuable to you and you are not just living life for safety and protection. You may prevent yourself from getting judged. Okay, in the short term, you've done it. You've avoided judgment. Well done. But in the long term, you're going to have regret. You're going to have these constant thoughts and feelings of, oh, I wish I did that thing, because you were unable to lean into courage and unable to realize that you are constantly going to be unfulfilled if you do not pursue the things that are meaningful to you. The next one is comfort zone. Now this is tied in heavily here because our brain is constantly trying to keep us safe and whatever feels comfortable and safe, and to make sure that everyone likes us and blah, blah, blah. But I implore you to think about who you are, what character you want to be. What is the personality traits that you want to have as a human? At your funeral, do you want to be remembered as the person who, yeah, he was a good guy who played it safe? He played it safe and never took a risk. He was a nice guy, but he never took a risk. How do you want to be remembered? What is your legacy going to be? Is it the one who was able to step into courage, step into the arena, take the risk, to earn the personality traits of resilience, courage, commitment, strength, understanding of self? Those take action, and the action you take is not going to be guaranteed and certain. That is what builds character. It is not by doing the thing that stays and keeps you in the comfort zone. So in order to have the characteristics, you have to build the character, which requires you to do the uncertain thing. And a good thing is consistency over intensity. Now, intensity will bring you short-term results, but in the long run, consistency is the thing that will keep you developing and expanding your comfort zone. Because risk is our perception of what we think is possible based on who we are and our value and our ability to go through uncertainty. And if we're able to consistently expand ourselves, invest into ourselves, take small risk, take small wins, we are slowly able to change our perception of what is a risk, because my idea of a risk has slowly expanded over time. I used to think doing one social media post was a risk because it put me at threat to people's perception of me. Now, a risk for me is putting a higher price tag on some of my business services because I'm potentially scared about not getting yeses. So over time, your ability to continually invest in yourself and change the way you look at risk will put you in a positive position. Now, the reason we do this, the reason we try and reframe risk and the reason we constantly think of it is because we want to improve the quality of our lives. But we have to understand fear is the predominant voice in our head. So we need to challenge the thoughts, challenge the logic of it, and surround ourselves with people who are able to challenge and motivate and inspire us to take action that is authentic and aligned to us. Because at the end of the day, you will not regret trying and investing into yourself and your future. Because I do not remember the last person who was on their deathbed that said, I regret trying to live a life authentic to myself. I don't remember it. I wish I didn't take as many risks and didn't try and create a meaningful life for myself. I don't remember that. But thank you for listening. I'm glad to have you along on the journey, the Psychology with Egan journey. The YouTube is growing and I'm really, really grateful for all your support. I love building this relationship with you guys. So continue to follow, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.